How are you today?
I'm doing pretty good. Can't complain. I woke up this morning, got a good breakfast in me, so I can't really complain. How about yourself?
Not too bad, thanks.
There you go.
It's great to see season 2 of the Hardy Boys. I
Yes.
want to know, from your perspective, what was it like coming back for a second season as this amazing character?
It was a little bit of a trip. I think I can say it for all of us. It was a little bit of a trip because of course we had pandemic in between, and we just finished shooting season 1 like right before the whole world went into lockdown. And it was interesting because we were kind of in the limbo stage of, are we going to go back to season 2? Like, what if we do, what's that going to look like? And so we really all had like time to really sit with our characters and be like, okay, so next season we could change this, next season we could change that. But ultimately we were all, it was a whole different learning process for me, especially going through okay, you know what? I want to do something different this year for this character. And it all came to play, but we were all ultimately just super excited to see everybody again.
I've heard the same thing from everyone else too. So
Yeah.
it's nice to hear this kind of, you get a sense of the family on set.
Absolutely. We're all ride or die together.
Where does season 2 find Chet? Where would you say that he's at this time around?
This season, well, last season it ended with him and Callie breaking up, and Frank and Rowan, Frank and Callie getting together. I think this year you'll see a little bit of that, of him processing that still, but he's not hung up on it, which I think is a really nice, mature thing to do on television, especially nowadays where messy television is kind of the popularized thing, but that's the way we go against the grain a little bit. I think for this season, you're also going to see Chet like really taking care of himself, especially like looking out for himself, looking out for his health, looking out for what's best for him. But also that doesn't come with the selfish factor either. He's still a ride or die for his friends. He'll still always be there for everybody, but he also has that little thing in the back of his head going, okay, think about yourself, think about what your ambitions, what you want. And he gets a little bit more of a grit this year, which was fun to play, which was fun to add. And you're gonna see some surprises.
Well, and I mean, that was one question. I saw this one description of him online about the fact that he doesn't want to go out on adventures, but he keeps getting pulled out on them. Is he a bit more adventuresome this season, or is he still getting dragged along?
It's a little bit of push and pull situation. Like there's certain times where he'll be dragged into certain things, and there's also certain times where he'll be like, okay, no, I'm gonna drag you into this year. So it's a little bit of a different aspect, but for sure there's still that key core element of, hey, I don't really want to do this, but if we're going, I'll go with you, but I'd prefer, we're going? Okay, I guess we're going. So there's still like a little bit of that element in there, but there's still some sprinkled new adventure for Chet for sure.
Well, not everyone can want to go chasing after monsters in the woods or,
Yeah, it takes a certain type of person, certain individual.
Well, I mean, so that's one of the things here. What's the relationship like this season with this group of friends? How would you say Chet is fitting into this kind of this group?
Chet, not much has changed between everyone else. Like really, it really hasn't, which is at first you'll see it as like, okay, I wonder, you'll be expecting for the other shoe to drop, but that's not our show. Like we really like try to keep it more family and friendly oriented, and you'll see that Chet still has some thoughts in his head, but ultimately he doesn't let his love for his friends get the best of him too much. And so you'll still see that they're still a very tight knit group, but they still have, it's like with every friendship, there's also some things underlined, right? So yeah, you'll definitely see a taste of that this season.
I love the first few scenes in the first new episode because I thought it gave you such a great sense of their just this amazing group of friends. It's the kind of friends you read about in books for sure.
For sure. We're definitely, and the great part about that is like that we're not just acting it either. Like we're all actually very good friends in person. We always hang out whenever we're in the same town. Like we're always together. So I think that element, I've heard a lot of our producers say, it's really nice you guys hang out with each other. But we're like, oh, other shows don't do this. Like we're with each other the entire time. How do you not end up liking each other? So it's really nice that we have that natural chemistry and that all plays on set and plays on camera. So that's really nice. It's good to hear.
And this season, Chet is drawn to the character Belinda.
Yeah.
What can you talk about for that?
You know what?
Who tests his limits. I love the line, tests his limits.
He does test his limits. That's exactly what I'd say. She pulls him out of his comfort zone because she comes from, she has a different background than everyone else. And so it's that sense of new, especially for Chet. He spent his entire life in Bridgeport. So when someone new comes along that doesn't have the same Bridgeport mind thinking, that's what intrigues him. So even through that, he gets tested a little bit. His adventure gets tested, his danger gets tested a little bit. And yeah, you'll see him. He was a ride or die in season 1 for everyone else, but you kind of see a little bit of a different side of Chet this year.
Well, what was Krista like to work with, on crafting this relationship?
She was great. Honestly, like I hung out with her one time before. We kind of just talked about like, hey, so what was your process with auditioning? How'd that go? Like, what's it like for you coming onto season 1? Coming onto a show with another season on, like we had a good talk the first time, and then from there on, that's when we knew, okay, no, we're gonna kill it this season. And no, I can honestly say that she's a phenomenal actress, phenomenal person to work with. She gets my jokes, which is great, so I don't feel like a loner. But we have a good chemistry. We always cracking jokes. We're always making fun of each other and stuff like that. So no, it was really good that aspect really kind of, again, much like the friendship of all the other friends, that blended into the camera as well.
Well, last thing I'll ask you is, what was the most gratifying, did you have a most gratifying moment this season? Was there something that you got to do with the character that was, and you don't have to, if it's not something you can talk about, that's fine, but was there a scene that really, hit that mark for you?
I'd say it wasn't really one. Okay, no, there was one specific scene, but I'll say this: Chet gets a little more physical this season.
Oh, really?
There's a little bit more of a physical side to him. You see a little bit more of a physical grit to him, and I really enjoyed playing that, and really enjoyed bringing that element to it. And you see all the other characters evolve in such a different way this season, that Chet's way got a little grit to him this year. And so I really enjoyed that. And it was a grit that was still a grit based in love for all of his friends. So I think that's that, without giving too much away, that's my favorite part.
That's amazing. Well, thank you so much for the time. It was really a pleasure chatting, and have a great day. I can't wait to see the rest of the season.
You too. Can't wait for you to watch it.